simpleton nut job here. Okay, let's see. What he said was true about weather versus climate. No argument. We were talking about changes. Climate changed gradually, probably over 1,000 years with the dinosaurs, before they became extinct. Something happened. We don't know for sure what. It could have been the Ice Age. It could have been extreme heat. Could have been volcanic. It could have been many things. Since most of their bones were buried deep down, anthropologists, of course, have to dig deep and brush off, and it takes them forever to dig up half of a dinosaur. I would say climate change. Of course. Climate change versus weather. Weather, in fact, is a daily thing. Well, a weekly thing with my weatherman, and he's always wrong. He's been wrong about rain, snow, wind. That's another story. Kind of. But the climate is what I'm talking about, too. It's a natural course of things. It does change. It changes over time. That's what happened to the dinosaurs, probably. Of course, everything is probably. It's probably what happened to early men, women, short monkeys. I don't know. And, the change probably happened during some course of disaster, put everybody to sleep. Who knows me? It's kind of up in the air. We'll just throw something up there and catch it if you can. But yes, of course it's climate. It takes time. They've seen it over and over again. The weather and the climate. There is a climate change. It goes with the earth. The earth is a climate kind of gal. The rainforests are a good idea. Or a good, not idea, but a good example. They've changed over the last 20 years. We're losing beautiful species of frogs and other creatures just don't see here. The wetlands and the rainforests are two different things. Fortunately, here in Washington State, we have a rainforest and we have wetlands. Rainforests are over in the Olympics. Wetlands, you find spots here and there and everywhere. So climate, yeah, it is different from weather. So the Farmer's Almanac should be used for the weather. Climate change happens gradually. Is it caused by all the crap? Well, of course it is. I didn't say that we didn't have crap going on in our oceans and ships put leaking oil, and some of them used to pour out their human waste into the ocean. Some of them probably still do, but don't admit it. Now imagine the garbage that's put out there. We have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fish that are so far down that only a camera can see them. And they're gigantic. They're probably from the dinosaur age. Don't know. They're just big. So yes, climate change is very real. And so is the fact that humankind is pigs. Are pigs. It'd be so easy if we could just take the cities and say, you cannot drive your car. You can't. You have to use mass transit, walk, or use a bicycle. Besides, we eat too much McDonald's anyway. And in the country, making fields of wheat and corn, and that is if the government's not paying them off not to grow corn. You get paid to grow soy. Another story. But seriously, of course it's different. The food's growing differently. Everything is growing differently. But over time, from the samples that anthropologists have gotten, climate change happened. And it's always happening. For instance, my climate's changed. It's a crappy example, but yet it is an example. When I was a kid, I was somewhat normal. I hit puberty and I became a hellion. Definitely a climate change. Then, hormones equaled out. And everything went fine. And then the change happened. And the change in a woman usually starts about 35. Really slow. Very slow. It's one of the slowest things there are. And some women have their menstrual cycles early by 40, 45, but most of us end them completely by 55. By 60, we should be done with menopause. We are post-menopausal. Talk about climate change. Guys ever have a hot flash, you'll know climate all right. One day I was at the grocery store and I almost ripped off all my clothes. This one woman, I think it was the register lady, she looked at me and she said, "You're having a hot flash, aren't you?" I was just dripping. I go, "How did you know?" She goes, "Because it's 25 degrees outside." And I'd run out anywhere. Doesn't matter how cold it was, I'd just stand there. I didn't care if I turned into a popsicle because I didn't feel like a popsicle. I felt like I was in the Bahamas. It's got to be hotter. Climate change. It's brought on by both people and natural. It's obvious what's happened from the people. It's very obvious. But it's also obvious that it's happened naturally. Okay, the nut job, idiot, somewhat illiterate, not, Blondie, who's goofed up her, this is not climate change. Somebody, can I get my hair back to the normal color black? Yeah, it was actually gray, white, but at least let me get it back to black. I'm losing my mind. Blondes don't have more fun. Yeah, goodbye. No.